Hey guys, my name is Haley and today I'm going to be filming a reading habits update. I swear I did a reading habits tag a million years ago and I just went to look for it on my channel and I couldn't find it, so maybe I'm crazy. I touched on in my last video of my mid-year check-in how my reading habits have changed quite a bit since especially last year. So I thought I would just take a moment to chat about that and talk about how normal it is for your reading habits to change throughout the years depending on where you're at in your life. Just to see if anybody else finds this relatable. Or maybe it's just a pandemic that has changed our reading habits. That's also a very likely scenario considering our whole lives have been turned upside down. So yeah, if you didn't know, hi, I'm Haley. And I have been almost exclusively, but probably at least 80% for the last 2.5 years been reading or listening to audiobooks, and that's how I consume most of my books. I think I even talked about this in my How I Read So Much video, which is actually one of my most viewed videos on this channel, which I just find funny for some reason because people are always fascinated by how people read so much, especially on BookTube. I honestly don't remember what I had said in that video, but I'm sure it was something along the lines of I listen to audiobooks a lot, which I don't do anymore. And to be fair, I am not reading as much as I normally do, but I don't think it's the audiobooks' fault, or rather me not listening to them this year, because we're 5+ months into the year, and I've only read 35-ish books, which isn't super off what I would normally read at the beginning of the year, because I do tend to read more in the fall and winter months. But for the first 2 months of this year especially, there was a drastic difference in how little I read compared to the last probably 5 or 6 years of my life. And I think at first it was audiobooks because I wasn't listening to them because I wasn't in the mood for it, and also I have lost the time that I would normally listen to audiobooks, which used to be at an old job, which I don't have anymore because that baby slept a lot. And I also used to listen to them a lot in the evenings after work or after church or anything like that, and just sit and binge an audiobook for 6 hours. And I haven't been doing that because I've been doing other hobbies, especially this year, like watching K-pop on Zoom with Kate, or watching Supernatural, or watching more TV. So that has taken the place of that time period, and I also just have not been in the mood to sit and listen and not be doing something. Other times that I would normally be listening to an audiobook in recent years, I've been listening more to music. I've definitely gotten more into music this year, not just K-pop, which was pretty much what I've exclusively listened to for the last 2 years. But I've also been getting back into old music that I really enjoyed in high school and middle school, and old singers, and re-listening and catching up on their music. Which I don't know why I never think to listen to music. I am a very musically focused person, and I'm just really bad at remembering to sit and listen to it for some reason. So I'm glad I've gotten back into that. So with all of those factors combined, I just haven't been listening to audiobooks, and that has sort of slowed down my reading. But even when I started to pick my reading back up in the last month and a half, I did not gravitate back towards audiobooks at all. Which brings me into what I've mostly been doing, because I also haven't been buying books physically this year. This month is an exception. I literally just filmed a birthday book haul, and I've already gotten more books from coupons and Amazon gift cards, and I'm about to go book shopping with a friend, so there will probably be a book haul part 2, just to be honest, which is hilarious because I've literally bought 0 books this year up until this point. But when I did get back into a reading mood, what has slowly become my favorite way to read is my Kindle. This is the Kindle Paperweight, whatever it's called, which I got for my birthday last year and did not use. I used it at first to listen to read Kindle Unlimited books up until September, and then I lost the Kindle Unlimited free trial, and I was I don't need it. And then I just kind of didn't use it that much until I want to say February or March of this year, and I realized I could throw this in my purse and take it to work, and when the babies happen to be sleeping at the same time at work, I can read a very quick 100 pages or so of a book on here. It's also helped that I've gotten back into contemporary this year, which I have not read in a million years. That was what I read a lot of in high school, and I just have not been in the mood for it. But this time I have not been in the mood for fantasy for almost 2 years now, which is depressing because a lot of my favorite series are fantasy or sci-fi. And I've read some sci-fi here and there, mostly thriller sci-fi, but contemporary has taken the reins this year, and my library has a lot of contemporary books. Because that was another issue I was running into with audiobooks, is I don't like to listen to fantasy or even really a lot of sci-fi on audio because it gets convoluted with all the like weird names and like terms for brand new worlds. And I could just listen to the contemporaries on audio, but some of the contemporaries have sex scenes. And listen, I don't want to listen to someone read me that. In my ears, it makes me want to die. So it's been a lot easier for me to either, if it's too much of one, I can skip quickly through on Kindle, or like reading it doesn't affect me as much, like reading it with my eyes. So that has taken precedence this year. And this has been my lifesaver. Also with me not buying books, I've basically relied on my libraries, and they happen to have a ton of contemporaries that I'm interested in right now. So, and me not having read contemporary in 4 or 5 years at least, besides one here or there like I was reading, it means I have a lot that I have missed in the last couple of years. If you know of any contemporaries that don't have like mass amounts of sex scenes, please leave some suggestions in the comments down below. I prefer new adult to adult. I have read some YA, but I prefer like a more mature YA, like nothing verging on middle grade. But yeah, I've been getting really into contemporaries. Like my favorite book of last year was contemporary, Who Am I? And as of right now, one of my favorite books of this year is going to be contemporary. So I am evolving as a person, apparently. And now this Kindle Paperwhite, highly recommend. Very, very easy to throw into like your purse and take anywhere and read in small bouts. Or do what I was doing, especially in like March, April, when my reading was starting to pick up, and just hold it, lay down, or go sit outside on the swing. We have a swing at my house. And just binge an entire book in like 3 or 4 hours, which is what I did a lot of earlier this year as well. There's something about holding the Kindle, which now I understand everybody who's saying that ebooks are the way to go. I've never been that way, but I suddenly understand it this year. I don't know if the pandemic changed me as a person, but probably. Because I do still read physical books, but I cannot bring myself to read audiobooks, which is so strange after the last couple of years when I was obviously very used to it. So yeah, plot twist for everyone who's been around here for several years. The like, what, 5 years I've had this channel? How long have I had this channel? I think I started in 2016. Oh my gosh, I've been on BookTube for 5 years. Okay. But yeah, thought I would give you an update in case you're wondering why there have been no book hauls, or really just like not much mention of audiobooks. Anytime I put a picture up of a book in my wrap-ups, it's because I read it on ebook, not audio, like was the case for the last several hundred years, I feel like. But yeah, thought I would just give you an update. Let me know how your reading has been going and what platform you prefer to read your books on, whether it be physical, audio, ebook, whatever. I would love to hear in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you guys next time.